So I started off with with explaining what these cat pictures have to do with the documentary I'm doing, and then I switched to another slideshow, another feed to explain what those pictures had to do with everything. Then I got cut off because of the time limits on the feeds, and I was at a point in my explanation. Sorry, I'm moving around while I'm trying to find my mouse. I reached the point where the slide was, in nature's economy, the currency is. In nature's economy, the currency is life. The currency is not money, it's life. Sorry, that's not focusing well. This is all part of a slideshow that I'm narrating. I'm sorry that it's so choppy. I'm doing this very unfiltered because I don't have time to get the message out and filter it. But basically, that is the basis of what we're teaching through our program. And we're not trying to go against the people who think it's money, because that's in the city. But part of this Urban Wild documentary and what it has to do with All Lives Matter and how we can coexist in the same world is cities are okay when it's not nature's economy. As simple as that. There's an economy that isn't in nature, and their life is not the currency, and life is not important. It's as simple as that. But that should be okay for those people who want that, as long as they're not hurting anybody, and we have solutions for that. But in nature's economy, since the currency is money and not life, it shouldn't have to cost money to live in nature's economy. And we teach how you can live in nature's economy without money. That is the basis of most of our teachings, what we're going to be teaching in our new centers. We have a healing center, a detox center, education center in Ashkelon that is meant for people who want to be completely alone, as far as they don't need people around them on a regular basis, connected to everyone and everything they need digitally, full food service and a full personal service as far as a butler, concierge, however you want to call that, but otherwise socially proximated and physically distanced from everyone. We have another location nearby on a more pastoral setting in the upper desert of the Negev that is for groups, and we're working on closing on another place in the north besides our international one, building exactly on this, where you can earn credits called Barness coins, spelled BARNESSQION. And why is it spelled that way? Well, that you'll have to ask as explanations in the answer. Meaning in the name is the explanation which we've explained, but it's all based on nature's economy. The currency is not money, it's life, and that is the resource-based economy, which is what we've been teaching as part of this beginning of the slideshow. Today on a vegan diet, you can save one animal's life, you can save 45 pounds of grain, save 1,100 gallons of water, and 30 square feet of forested land. Now, why is that important? You might think why that's important, and what do you care? Well, very simply, if someone else doesn't have those things and needs those things, and you can say, forget about even the animal's life itself, but if someone could have eaten that animal that you killed otherwise, besides the fact that they don't need to eat either, but if someone else could benefit from these resources, and because you wasted them by eating a food you didn't need to eat, someone's deprived. Question is, how do you feel about that? In other words, there's a certain level of guilt to everything if a person isn't on a vegan diet, if you haven't done your part to mitigate the hunger to others. Keep in mind, this is a slide. This is part of a slideshow that starts off of feeding children. I started explaining the very first slide of this thing is this. And every day 40,000 children in the world die for lack of food. We who overeat in the West, who are feeding grains to animals to make meat and eating the flesh of these children, are causing death. Eating the flesh of these children. Peace, love, vegan. Now this introduction slide is the opening to this slideshow story that ends up with the summary with that little cartoon. It's based on this. So if you don't know that slide that shows how much you're wasting and how much you could be saving otherwise, and since there's viable alternatives, that's why not to eat meat. If you have no other reason why not to eat meat, is because there's a lot of guilt involved, and because children are going hungry, you're eating their flesh. That's the flesh you're eating. All this other explanations we teach how we can solve it. Now it's no longer Mount Zion. We have there too, but that's under other management. We have our own places. We explained here no one wanted fats for maximum value and efficiency. We explained this too. That's in a previous video. Just narrating this video that's been out there, and I don't understand why it hasn't had more momentum and more traction. Because you see, we posted a juicer campaign. We've shared it. We didn't publicize, but we shared it. And we put it up there to trigger the mechanism, to algorithm, to show that it's possible. Everything we say that we've done can be done. We are solutions that are cheaper than anything else, and yet the people are allowing children to go hungry. It is part of a class-action lawsuit against speciesism. If you look at the show Extrapolation, it's called their ecocide. We're drawing a line in the sand. It's either you or them, us or them. If it's us, you're part of the claimants. If it's them, then you're part of the defendants. In a class action lawsuit against specieside. If you don't understand what that means, watch episode 7 of Extrapolation, and it's very, very, very clearly there. There is no justification today to eating in a way that causes harm to anyone or anything else, or that uses more resources than what we need. 6 goals of permaculture, it says here, starting catch and store rainwater, grow your own food, create your own resources, retrofit your home. We talk about the algorithms that we have that helped us get there. We're explaining even how we got there, besides this is how we're going to get there, but now this is how we got there. We put this out to trigger it. A nature's economy, the currency is not money, it's life. Again, hashtag BarnessCoin. The locations are chill zones, QILLZONES, sorry, ZONE. And the system is Club Chill, or Club TOS, Club CLUB, QILL. All these are hashtags. Everything about this we've described. Why is this important? If the whole world switched to plant-based food by 2050, 8.1 million human lives would be saved every year. 8.1 million. Food-related greenhouse gas emissions would fall by 70%, and $1 trillion would be saved every year in healthcare costs, meaning this is a financial gain. There's an immediate return on investment. And the cost of ownership is zero. There's a zero cost way to get into this with $1 trillion of the benefits. I'm calling it all insurance companies. If you know this and not doing something about it, you are part of the ecocide. You're part of the criminals. Kaiser Permanente and other insurance companies know about this. The solutions are viable. I've dealt with insurance companies I'm not going to call out, but I'm calling on you now. If you're hearing this, you know me and I know you, and we're coming for you. Or be part of the solution and host our locations. We're looking for sponsors and strategic partners. As long as you're part of the solution, you can write it off. You'll be never come after again. Your penance is simply be part of the solution. Vegan food is made from earth, sunshine, and rain. Animal products are made from blood, pus, and pain. And if you add the first slide, it also includes the fact that since you're denying the resources from others, it's also human blood, pus, and pain. Besides the fact that a lot of it's done with slave labor, besides the fact that it also denies so it's for the guilt-free purpose. And since there's a passage in the Talmud where it says, it says that if you don't benefit someone from a solution, it doesn't hurt you, or it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps them, and you don't do it, you're considered a sodomite. It has nothing to do with homosexuality. It has nothing to do with bestiality. Bestiality is no different than eating animals. I'm sorry to say, in today's level of morality, the Talmud says so itself. So if you don't want to be considered, that you're a sodomite, if you don't want to be considered as immoral as Sodom, then if there's a solution for a problem that doesn't impact on you in any way negatively, but it benefits you in every way, shape, and form, and benefits others, ask before you say there's no solution. As simple as that. There's no such thing as vegan food. It's either vegan or it's not food. Now, basically, in our 3 zones, the blue zones, of course, can be whole food, plant-based, no added salt, oil, or sugar, and it's going to be locally sourced permaculture, organically, or otherwise fair trade. If it's in our yellow zones, it's going to be vegan, 100% vegan, and hopefully, locally sourced and ethical, and ethical sourced, locally sourced. That it doesn't have to be healthy necessarily. But if it's in our red zones, it's going to be all the imitations. But there's no justification for wanting anything that isn't vegan if we can give you a vegan alternative that's just as good. Ask Gaz Oakley or any other specialists in the field. Speaking of which, Gaz Oakley, I hope you're going to be part of this. And Utopia Cheese, Utopia the nuttery, they're a perfect example of this. I like to call them too. Veganism is not a diet, it's an answer to the question if you can live your life without destroying the lives of others, would you? That's basically in one slide. This is the question. This is called foodscaping. Each yard has a vegetable garden with fruit trees. Neighbors consult with each other so they can trade their food that is grown. Imagine if people did this everywhere. This is what we are building. This is the fundamental blueprint of our world peace solution, of building those ecotourism sites in place where nobody else wants people, and to take people there who nobody wants near them, and people are willing to live for free and build these up. That's what we're teaching. I'm sorry that the reading is blurry, but that's what the slide says. By the way, this slideshow that I'm stopping and narrating is available on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram. I published this in the past. I'm just narrating it because it seems like people don't get it if I don't stop and explain it. I'm sorry. This we presented, by the way, to the Canadian government on multiple levels, to the province of Ontario, to the province of Manitoba, to the federal government, to the Governor General of England, meaning of Canada to England, for a peace treaty representing Algonquin nations, First Nations, with a ceremony we did, which has been documented in Earth Guardians Algonquin group, with First Nations leaders, including Chuck Commanda, Stephen Hunter, may rest in peace, and Jerry, to commemorate a forgiveness treaty which was accepted but not implemented, which is meant to take all of public land, all of Crown land, and create a stewardship program, create this just for the common good for all homeless or otherwise people who can't afford to live in the system if they can follow a proper system like this. It was approved but not implemented. That is our solution for world peace, and we're hoping that Prince Charles, if he hears this, or at least his family, because they have a documentary of Live to Love, or Love to Live, or Live for Life, or something, that says they want to do this. So we're calling on you and the Pope. You already wrote your letter to the world. This is the plan. And anyone else who's a leader, I've been to interfaith discussions to talk about world leaders from religious sides. I've been in political discussions, speak to world leaders about from an economic side. I've been to World Health Organization discussions. We presented our thing and it breaks the system because people can't make money. Now we have a system to allow you to make money on it. That's in the upcoming slides. I think that when the dust settles, we will realize how very little we need, how very much we actually have, and the true value of human connection. Sabbatical salutations. This is pretty much a summation of what every interfaith session should be, or every Earth Guardian or Earth Day or Earth Week interfaith sermon should be to their people, whether you say Shabbat Shalom or Good Sabbath or however you say it in whatever language. I'm sorry it's blurry, but that's what this slide says. This slide talks about, I think that when the dust settles, we realize, and that's now, the dust is settling now, although this is still blurry. That's why I'm reading it to you. Listen to the music, it says it too. What would happen if everyone ate lots of fresh organic food that was minimally processed? I think we'd have an epidemic of health. So that solution for people who live in the cities who don't grow their own food. I'm sorry again that the slides are blurry. This is a slide show them narrating because again, for some reason, even though we've explained this ad nauseum, left, right, and center, every single day I explain it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. The fact that it still needs more explanation, I'm narrating it. So this slide explains here the solution of the food system that we're building through host locations and through the Plant Pure Chef Challenge that we're launching on a monthly basis, and the weekly food prep that we're doing cooking lessons on a weekly basis and contests on a monthly basis to build a global network of people producing the food for the rest of their community. That's what this slide's all about. And again, I'm sorry that it's blurry. It's a webcam version. Now we know why webcams are what they are. A study done by Nobel Prize winner Elizabeth Blackburn found that a vegan diet caused more than 500 genes to change in the 3 months, turning on genes that prevent disease and turning off genes that cause cancer, heart disease, and other illnesses. Basically, that's the purpose of every one of our locations, and we're willing to prove this to you with a money-back guarantee. As simple as that. We know the formula thanks to Dr. Daly and his daily, Dr. Greger and his daily dozen, and many other doctors that offer their help and advice for free. Dr. Clapper, Dr. Greger, Dr. McDougall, and so many others. I don't mean to leave anyone out. Plant Pure Nations, Plant Pure Communities, everyone, the Game Changers, and you name it. Again, I don't mean to leave anyone out, but all of you influencers out there, any one of you, we're willing to help you prove this. So our host locations are for anyone you want to send for a challenge. This is the cheapest way you can have this challenge. We'll provide you a guilt-free and a temptation-free environment to go through this. We have programs that are as short as 3 weeks and other ones that take as long as 3 months. But no longer than 3 months, no less than 3 weeks, we can completely change your life, guaranteed, or your money back. As simple as that. And are backed by this Nobel Prize winner. As simple as that. Not sure why this has been repeated and zoomed on the middle, but that's okay. It's probably another slideshow. This is a review now of the slideshow. I'm going to reshare the videos that these are from, if I can find them, when I can find them. There's different speeded versions of these things with different music narrations. This is the same thing sped up, narrated by Weird Al. Again, mostly to attract the algorithm more than to attract people listening to the music. You don't expect anyone to understand everything here. Don't expect anyone to understand anything here. But I hope some people understand some things, and if you have any questions, ask. This video today with the narration is basically the frequently asked questions, the FAQs. Some of them are never asked questions, NAQs. We have a website dealing with that too. It's one of our old RK-Teen sites. Unfortunately, due to identity theft, all of our top-level domains are no longer active. We have all of our sites archived in hidden, safe sites. If you have any information, all of them are linkable through all of my posts every single day. This is all I do, is I spread and update and share this information and show what we've done, how fast the world has come to where we've been predicting with specific moments in time as proof. So what does this have to do with anything? Well, the new locations we have are going to be teaching people how to be part of the solution. In a worst case scenario, and it's not worst, if you're living in the city, there's a slide that we mentioned that talks about you. That means at least consume our products, support our system, at least promote it. That's all you need to do. At least be a host location for community drop-offs, to save for distribution within a city, etc., etc. If you know how to do the stuff, or to deliver the stuff, or to make the stuff, or to buy the stuff, or to sell the stuff, or to share the stuff, or to influence the stuff, that's where you fit in. If you want to learn how, we'll teach you how. If you want to test how good you can do it, we'll do that for you too. If you want a guaranteed market for the products that you can make, we'll do that too. And if you need tweaking or help to test market, we'll do that too. The best will be the main features of our products that we sell in our locations that we're promoting. And the people that want, you will be the influencers that will be the celebrities that help take it to the next level. Everyone benefits as much as they participate. All the profits are to you. Simple. That's the value you build, and all the extra value that we're promising you that sounds impossible, we're giving you right away in Barnes Coin, this virtual currency that we're talking about, which represents real value that you can get. Meaning, that you will always get from day one without hesitation, no matter what, guaranteed, whenever you want, wherever you need, whenever you need, the products and services at full value at one of our host locations. There will always be a host location. That's 100% guaranteed. How? Well, follow the story and you'll understand. Like the stories I just asked. So then, once you've proven your product and we help you prove your product and it becomes a sensation and it makes money, all that profit goes to you in real currency in whatever form and shape you want, including that it increases your value and your equity in our coin and in our system. The currency is Barness coin, BARNESSQION. The environment is called Chill Zone, QILLZONE. And the experience and the format is called Club Chill. Different levels represent where you are in the system, from Blue Zone thinking, which is we call the Blue Zone's Got Talent, BZGT. If you're on the vegan level, which is the yellow zone, then it's Vegans Got Talent, which means as long as you can show something that fulfills the guilt-free on the level of what we call vegan, when we have a vegan group in V.E.G.A.N, the Voice of Earth Guardians Algonquin Network. It's a group in Facebook that there it explains what does it mean to be on the vegan level. If you're not there yet, we have today's Ultimate Solutions, which will help you with PCRMI, which is People's Committee for Responsible Management in Israel and international, to the Abraham Fund in Dubai, and through our projects here in Israel, to test how to become guilt-free, and even in your own world, doing your own way, living your own way. Even if you have guilty pleasures, at least enjoy them on a guilt-free way. And that, on a spiritual level, is the difference between being a righteous and being a pious person. The difference between a tzaddik and a chassid. If you want more questions, please ask. That's all I do is explain, but ask specific questions, we can answer them, and don't wait for it to come to you, because if you haven't figured out until now, then I don't know. So I'm narrating these slideshows because that's what I have to offer right now, and it seems that people don't hear what I'm saying on their own, and I'm hoping this is enough for today.